Concerts, activities for kids, pickleball, and a really unique piece of Colorado history that is now a place for underserved young people to experience the mountains. We are celebrating Kids in Summer in this edition of Connected Colorado. Hi everyone, I'm Gary Shapiro. We are here at Lincoln Hills Cares, where they're developing the next generation of leaders through the outdoors. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit. But first, music and summer go together, right? Especially at the Broomfield Concert Series. It's a great outing for family and friends of all ages.
All right, hello, Broomfield.
This is the Broomfield Summer Concert Series.
In a country town, jamboree, a Friday night, jamboree.
This is pretty awesome. Really awesome to have a short drive to go see some awesome musicians.
And I love that it's like a free concert with the food trucks here, like good vibe. Good
food is good, sun's shining.
It's just really nice that everybody's coming out to support the city and to see a really nice concert. I'm glad that the Broomfield does these kind of things.
This is the Summer Concert Series presented by the Arts and History Division of the Library, Arts, History, and CSU Extension Department in the City and County of Broomfield. So the summer concerts are a great way for us to bring music, culture, and creativity and activities for the family throughout the community.
We've learned that people just love music here, and the community really embraces this and really loves these events. And so we know that music is important of all genres. These concerts are free to the community, so swing on by. We'd love to see you here.
It's the best. It's a beautiful day. The community has been absolutely incredible. I've gotten so many messages about how excited people are about supporting this event and supporting this community, and we couldn't be more stoked to be here.
This is an awesome space to come and see some music and gather the communities.
This is very special. This park is adorable. It's great that they are providing free music to the Colorado communities on a beautiful summer night.
Estoy muy contento de estar aquí en Broomfield y de poder encontrar a los Okie Dokie Brothers. Le agradecemos a la ciudad de Broomfield por hacer estos eventos porque le ayuda mucho a los niños y a las familias a estar unidas y contentas.
It's so cool. We've been listening to Okie Dokie Brothers for since he was even smaller, and so it's so cool to be able to come out for free on a beautiful day.
Broomfield's an amazing community. To be able to put this on really shows the investment in bringing people together and allowing people to enjoy summertime.
These concerts are an awesome opportunity to see great music for free, and you can bring your whole family, you can bring your dogs. We also have activities, the library is here, Broomfield Council and the Arts and Humanities are here, we have food trucks at every event, and new this year we also have a bike valet, so you can ride your bike, bring your stroller, and we'll check it in and park it for you.
It's really beautiful to actually have a community event where you get to go celebrate art and music. I mean, it's really what makes us all human. And it's also really nice for us as artists to be able to connect with our communities or connect with other communities that we're not a part of yet.
Not just a local band, but like a national touring band to like come in and play a free show for you on a weekday. Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, and that Broomfield just cares about their community, right? Like knows what people love, knows what people are gonna enjoy and have a good time at, and so awesome to be able to just create this event for people to come and connect and spend time together.
Sometimes we get so busy with our work that we forget what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then you see all these people smiling and laughing, and those are the moments where you're like, oh yeah, this is why we do what we do.
These events are just so fun to put together because of the people that we get to see at the events. The FaceTime that we get with the community is really unlike anything else that we're able to have throughout the year. And just hearing people's feedback, seeing them come out and have a good time together is really the most meaningful part of these events for us.
This is the honeymoon cottage where Lena Horne used to stay back in the day. Lots of famous people used to come up to Lincoln Hills. We want to talk about a program in Fort Collins for high school age students who can work or volunteer with the city. It's through the Next Gen Serve program.
We see our youth as the talent pipeline into the organization. And so we're really thinking into the future about how we might encourage the next generation to come work in local government. When I asked them what they were excited about to do with local government, most of them said, I didn't know I was volunteering for local government. So we had to really educate them on the wide variety of jobs all over the city that help make this community run, and educate them how volunteers contribute to that overall goal of engaging the community. They found a home here, they found a group, they found their people, they did something meaningful. They got to learn about volunteering, they got to learn about different types of jobs, and most of them have said they're interested in coming back next year and taking a leadership role. So we have a wonderful partnership with CSU in that we're able to offer internships for CSU students all over the city.
I am an unpaid intern through CSU. I am in the Human Development and Family Studies department, and I'm going to be a senior at CSU next year. And oh my gosh, the coolest thing I've gotten to do this summer has just been Next Gen. I never really learned about local government, so I'm learning just as much as these teens are learning. I have had so much fun. Just learning about the city has been so awesome, so amazing, and I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to do this. It's really awesome that Next Gen is a thing for teens from 12 to 18 to kind of discover different jobs and start thinking about what they want to do.
The City of Fort Collins has a 38% volunteerism rate. That means that 38% of our residents volunteer. Over 10,000 people volunteer each year, and the time they donate equates to almost 73 full-time employees and equates to a $4 million impact on the city. So as you can see, there are many of our programs that wouldn't run without the power of volunteers.
We're here at Lincoln Hills Cares with Jeanette Patterson. Thanks for inviting us out.
Thanks for coming.
Dr. Patterson, talk a little bit about the mission of this place.
Our mission at Lincoln Hills is to diversify the outdoors for generations to come by developing the next generation of leaders through our education and environmental outdoor education, through our cultural history exploration, and through our workforce advancement. Our goal is to get communities that are under-resourced and marginalized and youth to come to the outdoors and experience these green spaces that they haven't had an opportunity to experience.
And it's so important for these kids because they might not come up to the mountains other than this program, right?
Right. We want to make sure that kids get up to the outdoors because we know that there's been some barriers with black and brown kids or kids that come from under-resourced or marginalized communities. They may not have that opportunity. And so when we get them outdoors, we want to make sure that they are here, having fun, and taking in nature, as well as we want to make sure that kids can be in outdoor careers such as the forestry industry, and it just gives them a chance to experience what ancestors a long time ago experienced with outdoor education and being in nature.
And it's just so beautiful up here, too.
It's just gorgeous.
You know, not only kids come up, but you also have veterans come up, you have people that are in wheelchairs come up. A lot of people take advantage of the setting up here.
Yes, we do. We have a number of people that want to come up. Last week we had a boys group come up with adults, and they came up to Winks Lodge. They traveled around. In the next couple of weeks, we will have some veterans coming out to do some fishing out in the pond. In one of our programs, we have kids that have some mentally and physically challenges that want to come up and just tour Winks Lodge, but also do some fishing and just doing some outdoor activities.
Not only is it a great program up here, but the history of this place is incredible.
Oh my goodness. The history is wonderful. Lincoln Hills was established in the 1920s and flourished until the 1960s. It was a safe haven for African American people. It was established because of the constraints of Jim Crow. There were a couple of investors that invested in the land. Those investors did go into the black community and sold plots of land to black people. This area right here, which is the fire pit area, it was a gathering space. So people were talking about what was happening in their communities. They were talking about their kids going to college. They were talking about shoes and clothes, family. They were just having a great time here because Lincoln Hills was a safe haven. So people could feel liberated and they could feel safe. They didn't have to worry about who was looking behind them, or if they were in their right place, or if they missed a step out in the community, or you didn't have to stand in the back of the line or anything like that. And so that's what this place brought. Lincoln Hills was a great place for Black people and for all.
It's such a positive story. It was a safe space, and that's why some of the people that came up here are pretty famous people, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. So in Denver, you would have people like Lena Horne, Billy Esquine, Count Basie. They would be in the Denver area performing, but they wouldn't always want to stay down there, so they would come up and vacation here. And so Lena Horne would stay right over there in that honeymoon cabin because she loved that place. It was small, it was quaint, and it was just for her. And then Zora Neale Hurston and Langston Hughes would come, and they would come up and do literary circles and talk to people. They wouldn't necessarily perform, they would just mingle within the crowd and rest just like the rest of the folks.
Let's talk a little bit more about the kids. All kinds of different programs up here you talked about. What are some of the specific programs?
Fly fishing, archery, they may do some fire prevention work, they do some hikes, they'll do a history hike up here, they'll do some nature hikes. They'll also do some environmental science work up here, water conservation work. So we've had, 2,500 kids come up here a summer to do that. And then Camp Nishoni is an equestrian program for girls, and it really addresses the social emotional needs of young girls who have been traumatized. They're able to ride horses, and our newest program is our gardening program. So we're pretty busy.
It sounds like you're pretty busy, yeah. So I imagine since many of these kids, it's their first time up here, the idea is to get them comfortable with nature, and maybe that's lessons they can take into the future, right?
Yes, yes. We want our kids to have an experience of a lifetime. We had a group of young boys and adults up here, and they haven't stopped talking about it. They love the fact that they got the history. They love the fact that they were able to interact with conservation work, water conservation work. They love the fact that they were able to fly fish and do all the activities up here at Lincoln Hills. This is an amazing experience for kids. If you want to have fun with just being outdoors and listening to nature, this is the place to be. It makes kids feel comfortable. It gives kids a time to relax, take in the wind, take in nature. We don't hear any noise. And it's quiet and it's calm. I don't hear the cars. I don't hear the bustling and the hustling in the city. I like this. I can't wait to wake up in the morning and drink my hot tea on the balcony and just hear nature. And so I say that's one of the benefits of being up here.
So we talked about the history of this place, which is incredible, and there are efforts underway to kind of save that history, right?
Absolutely. So the first thing I want to share is that December 13, 2023, Winks Panorama, now known as Winks Lodge, was designated as a National Historic Landmark by the National Park Service. And so we're excited about that. And with that comes more support and funding for us to preserve Lincoln Hills. And so yes, we are partnering with the History Colorado Center and their preservation office to help us with determining how we want to preserve Lincoln Hills. Currently, it's not open because it is under restoration and preservation. And so we're just going through that process. We're going to, hopefully, it's going to be a place where everyone can come. But right now, we're just taking tours by word of mouth and contacting us if you need that. So
I hope it works out because it's a great story.
Yes, it is. It's a wonderful story.
So I understand they're not only working on historical preservation, but also cultural and spiritual. How does that work?
Lincoln Hills has been designated as a historical property, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to determine if it's a traditional cultural property, meaning that there's the spiritual sense, the religious sense, the belief, the historical pieces that come along with it, where people are embracing this place because of the spirit of Lincoln Hills and what happened in the past and continues to happen in the future. So most definitely we are working on that.
So if people want more information on Lincoln Hills or Lincoln Hills Cares, what do they need to do?
Well, what you need to do is just go to our website, www.lincolnhillscares.org, and it'll give you all the information. And if you want to contact us directly, there's a contact sheet there that you can contact us and we'll get back to you.
Well, Dr. Patterson, it's a great program. It is a wonderful place. Everybody here is doing such a fine job. So thanks for having us out again.
Thank you for coming.
Tell me about what you're doing today.
Today we're just visiting with Girls Inc. The first thing I did, we did archery, and now we're doing fly fishing.
Yeah, and how do you like it?
I think it's pretty good.
And what do you like about coming up here?
It's very beautiful, and peaceful, quiet, and fun. I find archery very interesting.
Tell me what you like about getting up to the mountains on these kind of days.
I just kind of like just being out in like the open and like spending some time out, like not being in the city. It's like relaxing. I'm with my friends, so.
Okay. That's so cool. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
In the Colorado mountains, there has to be kind of a balance between ecological and recreational needs. In Eagle County open space, they're doing some controlled burns to rejuvenate the landscape and reduce the wildfire risk.
So here on the Brush Creek Valley Ranch and Open Space, it's a 1,672-acre open space that is managed by us in our department and owned by Eagle County. And what we do out here is essentially try to balance recreational needs, ecological needs, essentially that human component and the wild component. And so what we're doing here with the fire is trying to respur some of those natural processes that this landscape would have experienced decades or centuries ago. So we're trying to put fire back on the landscape to recreate those natural processes, and they should also help encourage some of the other restoration projects we've got going on the ranch, where we're trying to increase riparian forage and some of the plantings that are coming along around Brush Creek.
And this is a project that was led by Eagle Valley Wildland, which is a partnership between Greater Eagle Fire, Eagle River Fire, Gypsum Fire in Eagle County, and we've been a part of that since 2020, responding to sort of the need to increase both our mitigation actions as well as our response capabilities. And a prescribed fire like this is great because one of the objectives is to train firefighters. And we have people here from as far away as West Metro and Sugarloaf, which is a fire department near Nederland. We have resources from Grand County, Leadville, all over Eagle County and neighboring counties. So any chance that we can get out, work together on a prescribed fire, which is again a fire that's usually aimed at, and this one was aimed at improving wildlife habitat as well as reducing potential fuel loading. We saw some pretty interesting and exciting fire behavior at times during a highly coordinated effort within April. So it kind of leads to the concern around an unplanned fire in this valley on a windy day in June and what that might do to the folks that are living all around us in Eagle Ranch.
We take a number of different factors into consideration when we do these prescribed fires, and one of them is smoke management. It's a pretty big part of what we do. We do our best to reduce the impacts as best that we can to the public. We try to plan these burns for when the winds are going to blow the smoke kind of out of densely populated areas or other sensitive places like hospitals or places like that. We find, and there's been studies that have concluded, that the smoke production from prescribed fires is much less than the smoke production from wildfires. So we kind of hope that a little bit of pain now will prevent a lot of pain later.
And kind of a cool story, we have a raptor's nest that was back in this unit, and we noticed there was fledglings and there's this raptor that's there, and so we worked with Hugh and his team to make sure that we excluded the burning from that area, and we saw them flying around during the fire. And we looked back, I think yesterday, they saw that they had returned to the nest. So just a really good success story of how we're all working together and coordinating to make this happen.
Just another beautiful spot here at Lincoln Hills Cares. In Aurora, there is a unique place for gamers. It is called Esports Hub. The city created it last year as a safe space for kids during school breaks or all year long.
All right, let's do this. A new kind of play is happening at Expo Recreation Center.
I do not like when the lights turn off.
Video games are now available.
Candy bars, yes, we need candy bars.
The Esports Hub opened its doors for fall break and offers a room full of professional gaming computers and every high-end gaming console.
I discovered this beautiful game.
10-year-old Denise Ransom was impressed with the space.
Honestly, I thought it'd be just wanted it like a little classroom with like a TV and maybe a single computer, and that's about it. But this is not what I was expecting, and I kind of like it.
She came to check it out with her brother and father.
Any opportunity for kids to be able to get out
and be able to have a positive experience.
Jeffrey Ransom says his kids love video games, with his son even wanting to play on the high school team.
He's got jerseys for his favorite esports team.
It's a billion-dollar industry.
Adam Ham is the brains behind this space. He says for the last several years, he and his team saw the need for something like this in Aurora. A safe and fun place for kids to play something other than traditional sports. So far during fall break, they had dozens of kids sign up for the free drop-in and play.
Their words would say, "This is fire."
Good luck. Adam was even getting in on the gaming.
Done!
Moving forward, the esports room will have a pay-to-play option for $5 for middle school and high school students.
Oh! Woo! Posterizer.
But the goal is to also create more opportunities like the free drop-in programming.
Oh! Camps, leagues, birthday parties on weekends.
Adam says they hope the space can be somewhere where kids can learn to play, bond with others, and feel safe.
Come check out esports at Expo.
The kids here at Lincoln Hills Cares also can learn archery. All kinds of great sports to do out here. You know, recently middle and high schoolers from around the state broke out of their shells and learned how to be leaders in their communities at the annual Image Summit in Brighton.
I heard about the Image Summit because my community has been expressing it very well.
Bromley East Charter School student Diane Kim jumped at the chance to attend the two-day summit.
For these past 2 days, we have been going through lessons and speeches over what how to become a leader.
But learning how to be a leader in their community isn't the only goal of the Image Summit.
I can't do this, I'm overwhelmed, I'm freaking out, I'm just gonna be myself.
Motivational speaker Blake Fly says that over the last few years, these young adults have been trained to keep to themselves.
To play a role in helping them break out of their shells and to be community contributors and think in ways that maybe they wouldn't have thought of on their own.
Image Summit staff also helps these young adults break out of their shells by separating them into different groups so they can get to know youth from around the state.
This is a way that you could accelerate life as a young person and start stepping into relationships and networks and communities that can actually open up doors for you.
1, 2, 3.
The first day of the summit, the young adults spend their time in workshops, taking on the Ninja Warrior Challenge course, and working together to create a beat of their own.
This group of trusted adults are devoted to helping bring the voice out of young people and to partner with adults so that so much can get built instead of hearing the typical feedback of like, you're too young, or when you're older, which that's not the case. Like, young people can build something spectacular.
And on day 2, staff brought in elected officials to help these young adults come up with ideas on how they can make a lasting impact on their community.
I do believe that we need a seat because we are the future generations, and the problems that will be passed on will need us to be in it because we are the people who are going to change it.
As the Image Summit wraps up, Kim says she hopes to be able to make a change in the world around her. If you missed this year's Image Summit, don't worry. The 2024 Image Summit will be held on November 5th and 6th. We hope to see you there.
You know, summer fun just isn't all about kids. Pickleball for adults is one of the fastest growing sports in the country. And it's not just all about the game. It is community that keeps people coming back.
It's about the contact you have with these people.
Here, it's like the time flies.
Mike, you guys still playing?
Yeah. Want to warm up?
Yeah, let's go.
You know, I think my reason for playing pickleball is because it has a sense of community, has a sense of belonging, has a sense of camaraderie. I would go to all these different kinds of, I don't know if you call them communities or places to access friendships, and I could never seem to connect. Because after a yoga class, everybody just splits and everybody goes. Here you keep coming back, you keep seeing the same people.
When I first lost my husband in South Carolina, pickleball was a way for me to interact with folks without having to deal with his death constantly. So I was able to leave that grief at the door. With pickleball, you develop a community, both small and large. I'm a Denver firefighter, and 4 years ago my
crew taught me how to play pickleball. With the job that I have, it's very stressful, and a lot of firefighters actually die from heart attack. I have to invest in my physical well-being and my emotional well-being, and I find connection with friends, and I'd run on the treadmill for an hour and it just felt like 6 hours. But then I'd come out on the pickleball court and I would play for 10 hours and it felt like 2. It was a no-brainer. My watch was saying, wow, you've maxed out your goal by 600%, like, you know.
I love anything active, so to be able to be active for hours during the day on the weekend without having to plan much ahead of time. You also don't have to sign up usually. You can just show up I can show up at 11:15 or I can show up at 2:15 and stay for an hour or 3 hours. And then the social aspect of it too, being able to sit and chat with people. We get drinks after sometimes. Just show up, bring a smile, bring a paddle, and be ready to play.
It's such a positive environment. It's really incredible. I have so many good friends now because of it. I play with everyone, but I just like meeting new people. It's never like me versus you, it's us together and let's lift the boat.
We have an awesome community of pickleballers who love the sport. They love the social part of the sport. More and more people every day are finding this sport. It's very accessible for all ages. And so we have just a big and growing, very passionate group of people for whom pickleball is their #1 recreational choice right now.
I play pickleball because of the people I have met here.
I play pickleball because it makes me feel good.
I play pickleball because I really love the game.
I play pickleball because it's social, because it's physical, and because it's fun.
I play pickleball because my life depends on it.
I play pickleball because I love being outside, I love being active, and I love a little bit of competition in what I'm doing, and pickleball provides all of those things. I mean, I think our role on the recreation side of Parks and Recreation is to meet our residents where they are and where they want to recreate and provide those opportunities for people to be active, for them to have that social network, for them to get engaged and get fit in the ways that they want to. Anytime a sport grows as quickly as this is, then our #1 struggle is keeping up with the demand, having enough space for the number of people who want to play to be able to play. And so just getting court time inside, outside, anywhere in the metro area, and this is not unique to Denver, this is all across the country, has been a challenge. And that's frustrating, right? When you find something and you're like, oh, I really like this is a new social outlet for me, this is a new recreational and fitness outlet for me, and then you can't find a place to play, that's frustrating. We're working very hard, and even in a tough budget year, to increase courts as quickly as we can. Construction of courts does take a while, but we will be bringing on 6 additional courts this year, and we're in design on at least 8 more courts. We're going to see if we can bump that up even a little bit as we get further in the design to see the space between Lowry and Rosemont. That should come on next year, hopefully, if we can keep things moving as they are. It takes time. We can't build courts overnight, but Denver Parks and Recreation is committed to meeting this growing sport where it is and providing opportunities for players of all ages and of all abilities to find a place to play pickleball.
Don't be shy, just come and play.
Much thanks to Lincoln Hills Cares for inviting us out today. We hope you and your kids have an awesome summer and enjoy the great outdoors. We'll see you next time on Connected Colorado.